5-yard line and settle down, everybody. This crowd is ready. Game on. Jones from the 1-yard line to the middle and out to about the 19-yard line. So here comes the redshirt junior from Mobile, Alabama. Played at St. Paul's Episcopal High School, A.J. McCarron.
Amazing what a year will do to your confidence in a national championship. As we said earlier, Brent, they're going to put a lot on his shoulders in this game the way they have this year. Doug Nussmeier, the new offensive coordinator, has used his experience to put a lot on him as far as making the right checks, getting him out of bad plays. And tonight, Alabama wants to run the football to be able to set up the play-action pass.
Eddie Lacy is in the deep set. Lacy behind that great offensive line. And he is stopped after about a 1-yard gang tackled by that Irish front. And it was led by Lewis Moore, who you saw over there on the sideline getting ready.
Try to force Notre Dame's safety, Zeke Mata and Matthias Farley, to come down into run support and then try to get behind them with big pass plays downfield.
Doug Nussmeier, the offensive coordinator, sticks with his same personnel. On first down, it's the play action. McCarron's going to throw deep. Norwood got it in midfield.
Just talked about, Notre Dame's got a lot of energy right now. They're fired up to stop Eddie Lacy. There's Norwood, who had a big championship game last year against LSU. Easily gets behind coverage. The Notre Dame defense trained their eyes on the run game, and it opened up for Norwood an easy throw here for A.J. McCarron to get into rhythm.
29 yards on the game. Norwood didn't have just a good day, Herbie. He had a career day against LSU in New Orleans. Now show the Nevada offense. Handed back off to Lacy. Lacy behind the left tackle, and he crushes the defense for another first down, and there's a penalty flag as Lacy's helmet came off on the play. He would leave for a play unless it was ripped off, and there's a penalty, then he can stay on the field.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 48. 15-yard penalty will be added at the end of the play with an automatic first down.
So that was Dan Fox guilty on the face mask penalty, and the Tide threatening on their first drive of the game.
And that play action pass allows Notre Dame to go back to try and stop this run, and Bama's able to get a little bit more room, and at the end of the play, Dan Fox clearly grabs a hold of that face mask and pulls the helmet off.
And as it comes off, on comes the freshman sensation, T.J. Yeldon. Yeldon is now in the deep set. Movement in the defensive front by Nix.
Offside with contact, defense number 9. A 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Herbie, how about our Alabama impact, fellas?
Well, Eddie Lacy, obviously, along as you said, with the freshman T.J. Yeldon, Amari Cooper, they're going to try to get him the ball vertically, and then C.J. Mosley and D. Milner lead the Alabama defense.
Yeldon again, a lot of shifting with the Irish front for Coach Bob Diaco. Barrett Jones calls the defense, identifies the Mike linebacker. Yeldon behind the left side, and he squeezes through inside the 20-yard line. What a freshman running back he is, Herbie.
Oh, boy, we saw him in his opening game against Michigan in Dallas, and you could tell right then that it was going to be a special year for him. In fact, I saw Mark Ingram, who won the Heisman Trophy at Alabama, on the field after the game, and he said, man, TJ has a chance to be better than any of us before he's done playing in Tuscaloosa.
Eddie Lacy saddles up, back in. Quanjo, Warmack, Jones, Steen, and DJ Fluker. That's your offensive line. That's as good as it gets in college football. As good as any we've seen in several years. Lacy bolts middle, still going, end zone, and Eddie Lacy scores the first touchdown of the night. A 20-yard run for number 42. That was an 82-yard drive, and folks, that's a story. Notre Dame has not allowed a touchdown drive of more than 75 yards this season, and the Tide rolls for 82.
That play action pass just seemed to open up the running lanes after they had success with that throw. They got back to doing what they do well, and that's running the football. You can see the double team on the left side there, opening up with Quanjo and Warmack. Eddie Lacy, you can see how fresh he is. The turf toes behind him. He's running much quicker. We saw that in the last 3 games of the year. He's playing with great quickness. That's a big touchdown here for Bama.
Jeremy Shelley tacked on the extra of a great NFL player. His twin brother's also on this Notre Dame team, is back deep. A year ago, prior to this season, he returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns. Ball on the tee for Cade Foster. Atkinson not going to bring it up. He'll come to the 25-yard line. So here is the redshirt freshman, Herbie, from Myrtle Beach High School in South Carolina, and he's been maturing with every game. Here's Everett Golson.
We've talked a lot about how he has to play well. I think that's obvious. I think they're going to ask him to throw the football against this Alabama defense more than he's probably thrown all year. The other thing, Brent, is he's going to have to play with tremendous poise, much like he did at Oklahoma and USC late in the year. Be accurate, try to create, use your feet. A lot from him tonight if they're going to be able to move the ball offensively.
Notre Dame has decided to open with 3 tight ends. They'll empty the backfield out. Eifert, the Mackey Award winner, is toward the bottom of your screen, and Golson on first down fires complete.
A weakness from Alabama that was exposed late in the year was LSU passing the football with success, A&M throwing the football, and right away they go to an empty set, try to get some one-on-one matchups and get the ball thrown to the outside.
So it's like Golson lost a wristband, and that was a new one. Heather Cox reports from down below that they threw out so that he's got the plays there for it. Now it is second down and short after that completed pass to Jones for 8 yards. Up over the top he goes, under fire, and incomplete. Out of bounds was Eifert over there.
How about this? They're challenging D. Milner here, the All-American. They go with the size. He just put it up in the air. We've seen Eifert make these catches all year, clearly out of bounds, but you can see Brian Kelly said the team that makes the most mistakes might be the team that wins tonight. He's just basically saying we've got to take some chances right away. First couple plays, they're airing it out, and he goes right after Dean Milner with Tyler Eifert.
Third down and 2. Golson goes back to that far side, goes back to the well, and Eifert this time is out of bounds, juggling. They went twice in a row after D. Milner and came up empty twice in a row.
D. Milner does a good job at not giving up on the ball. Remember, Eifert is 6'6". He's just trying to separate the football from it. I think he may have secured the ball while his foot was down. Yeah, that looks like a catch to me, Brent.
Well, they can always stop it. Every play is looked at upstairs.
A great effort by D. Milner, but I think maybe a better effort by Eifert to be able to hold on to the football.
Remember, the signal on the sideline was that he was juggling the ball as he went out of bounds. The crowd has seen the replay, and now the line judge comes out and signals a timeout here.
Timeout. Notre Dame, their first of the half.
This, of course, gives instant replay a lot of time here early in the game if they want a signal.
national championship is brought to you by the new Discover It card. Finally, a credit card that's changing the game. Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live más. The new 2013 Ford F-150 with EcoBoost. Allstate. Are you in good hands? And DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
We're seeing some great views of the game, courtesy of the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. Well, during that timeout instant replay at ample time, there was no notification down below, so Notre Dame will be punting, and Christian Jones is back deep for the Tide. Fair catch, and he signaled late. Fumble, flag comes down. Let's see if there was contact. He signaled for the fair catch at the 25-yard line. Ball was put down on the ground, but there was a penalty flag.
Interference with the opportunity to catch the kick. Kicking team number 41. 15-yard penalty to lead enforcement spot foul. First down, Alabama.
Kelly is upset about it. It's a late signal, but that's a fair catch signal. Then was the teammate the one who hit the return man. Herbie, what'd you think?
I think he's upset because he feels that Blue blocked his man and he didn't even touch him. You know, we don't have the halo rule in college football anymore. You've got to give him room to be able to make the
but
catch.
There is a rule about 1 yard front or side. However, that's a horrendous call.
Absolutely.
He was not touched by the Notre Dame player. No. It should be Fighting Irish football. What's going on here? A.J. McCarron with a 7-point lead back under center. Eddie Lacy.
Last time Notre Dame tried to defend this Alabama offense was a kind of a combination. The A.J. McCarron play-action pass seemed to open it up to get back to running the football. The matchup everybody wanted to see was Alabama's running game against the physical front seven from Notre Dame.
Second down and 7. We are blessed with having Rogers Redding, the national coordinator of football officials, up here in the booth with us. We're going to bring him in right after this play. Lacy on a screen, rips and spins like he normally does. And Rogers, I've got to ask you, let's start with that punt down there. It appeared to us in a replay that the Notre Dame player never made contact with the return man.
He did not make contact, but the rule is that if he comes close enough where the officials judge that he caused the receiver to interfere with, to not be able to catch the ball, even though he doesn't make contact, he still has to give him room, and he can't come so close that he causes the receiver to bobble the ball. So I think it's a good call.
So that was a good call,
yes,
in your opinion. Okay, third down and 1. Here is Lacy for a first down, and the big fella is rumbling. 2,000-yard backs, Herbie, on this team. Lacy along with T.J. Yeldon.
Well, if Alabama's going to be able to run the football with Eddie Lacy, it's going to be tough for Notre Dame to be able to hold up defensively. Right now, that battle that we all were excited to watch is obviously going in favor of Alabama's big behemoth offensive line pushing right now that Notre Dame front. And I'll tell you, we've seen Manti Te'o early in this game miss a couple tackles, something we've not seen all year. I think he had 2 missed tackles in the entire year. Already a couple missed tackles in this first couple drives.
First down and 10. Play action, firing downfield, incomplete. Marvin Shin, who has been picking up the slack for the injured Kenny Bell, and that was Zeke Mata unloading.
Yeah, good throw there. Actually, a great read, well designed. McCarron, plenty of time to throw. Shin's just unable to hold on to it because Mata lowers the boom. Zeke Mata is the thumper back there in the secondary for this defense, the senior. 6'2", 215 pounds, and he times that up perfectly. Clean hit, is able to dislodge that football away from Shin.
Second down and 10. Little lateral over to Lacey, trying to find the edge, and he's forced out of bounds. Kirby Lacey goes about 225, 6 feet. And when you stand down next to him on a practice field, you would not want to try to tackle the big fella.
Yeah, and I think what most people, when they think of Eddie Lacy, they think of how physical a runner he is. But now that the turf toe is healthy, the ankle is healthy, he has great suddenness and quickness to go along with that power.
Facing a 3rd and 5. McCarron fires for the first down, and he comes right back to Marvin Shin, who is a redshirt freshman.
They just overload this zone here and find the man that he wants. This is the experience of McCarron. He's looking into the teeth there of Manti Te'o and the rest of that defense in the middle. You see the true freshman, 22, Elias Shoemate. Just a great read. And what I've seen so far, every time McCarron drops back to throw, he's got ample amount of time to be able to look into the defense and make the read.
At the Irish 32, up by 7. Alabama with a 1st and 10. The handoff, Lacey to Daylight behind the left side. And for Alabama fans, they're happy that Cyrus Kwanjo, that left tackle, will be back next year. He's a sophomore. He'll be one of about perhaps 3 who will return to this offensive line. Many of the people in the Alabama family believe that DJ Fluker will go to the National Football League and will be a 1st-round draft choice. Barrett Jones, of course, is a 5th-year senior. He'll be gone. Chance Warmack, the left guard, is a senior from Atlanta. He, too, is going to be a #1 draft choice. Folks, this is some offensive line you're watching. On 2nd and 5, spins it out to Amari Cooper, the very talented freshman from Northwestern High School of Miami.
Well, Doug Nussmeier right now doing a very good job, the offensive coordinator, of mixing up the play action, mixing in the run with the pass. He came over from Washington last year with Steve Sarkisian, and I think he's done a really good job of maintaining where they were with Jim McElwain, who took the head job out of Colorado State. And just really, I think, a balanced attack. It starts with the run, of course, tonight, but with having a better quarterback like McCarron, if they keep protecting him like that, it's going to be tough for Notre Dame to stop this offense.
Lacey is in on 3rd and 1. He gets the call, steps through and breaks into Daylight. 10, headed in zone, down short of it. Russell, the freshman, tripped him up, but it'll be 1st and goal for the Tide.
But look at Zeke Mata shoot through here. He's got to make that play. That's a 2-yard loss, and it's a field goal attempt. All year long, Notre Dame has made those plays down in the red zone and forced teams to kick field goals. That time, Eddie Lacy's vision and balance allowed him to get to the 2nd level.
The nose tackle, Jesse Williams, is in as a blocking back, number 54. Gonna throw, touchdown, the other Williams, Michael Williams, the tight end.
Absolutely great call by Doug Nussmeier here. Play action on 1st and 10 against a defense that when you get inside the 5-yard line, we've talked all year about how effective they've been in that area. They pinch the gaps, they shoot the gaps, and that time everybody was defending the run. Perfect time to call the play action pass.
And Shelley slides through the extra point.
You can see the defensive line. You see Manti Te'o shooting up. They're thinking Jesse Williams in there. They're going to run the football. 1st and 10. Don't wait the 3rd down. Call that on 1st and 10.
A.J. McCarron with his first touchdown pass of the night. This is the 3rd position that he's played in 3 championship games. Remarkable story. Guard, then left tackle, and this year's center. Amazing. And Atkinson for the Irish to the 20-yard line. Let's take a look, Herbie, at tonight's Taco Bell touchdown spotlight.
Well, they've had a couple possessions, and they've been able to put 14 points up on the board, and it's been a very balanced approach. The double team here on the left side, which opened up a big run by Eddie Lacy, Cyrus Kwanjo, and Chance Warmack. Great vision there by Eddie Lacy. And then here, Manti Te'o expecting the run with big Jesse Williams in there. 1st and 10 play action. They sneak it in behind them. 2 possessions. 2 touchdowns, and Alabama is rolling right now early in this game.
That puts the heat squarely on the Notre Dame offense. They've got to respond. Sierra Wood is alongside Golson. And Golson rolls and throws again to the left, and he finally got Eifert a completion that time. Lester and fumble. Fumble, ball on the ground. And Alabama has recovered.
Well, this is exactly the way Notre Dame wanted to avoid this game starting. And Tyler Eifert gave tremendous effort. You wonder here, did his knee touch before the ball came out with this effort? Right knee. And there's the knee. You can't really, the ball's still in there. But then again, we expected them to review a play earlier, but this one looks like that knee is obviously down before the football came out.
The Irish defense is trotting out on the field. I think the only thing that surprises me is that instant replay has not stopped it, and now they do.
Ruling of the previous play of fumble is under further review.
So finally, an official review. Herbie, the Irish got to dial up the leprechaun. I mean, what? He missed the kickoff? And they do say that knee was down. Notre Dame retains possession. They'll have about a 2nd and 2 as you take one more look at it.
Yeah, again, the right knee looked like the first shot that we had of it. You could see that he still had the football. So this will be 2nd and 2, ball at the 28 for Golson, who, by the way, 4 plays. They've only run 4 plays. They're down 14-0, and they've thrown 4 passes.
Have all of them been to the left?
Yeah, I believe they have.
2nd down. Now they're going to shovel a pass over to Sierra Wood. Wood picks up a 1st down, and he's close to the 35-yard line before Ed Stinson hauls him down.
A big part of what Notre Dame wants to do against this bigger SEC Bama defense is try to get their linebackers out in space. Try to get their safeties out in space, whether that means making them cover wide receivers and a guy like Tyler Eifert out in space, or getting a quick pitch out to Sierra Wood. Try to make this bigger Alabama defense have to play out in space against the quicker speed that Notre Dame has.
Theo Riddick is the running back behind Golson on this 1st down and 10. And Riddick, who had a great game against USC, is stuffed at the point of attack. C.J. Mosley, an outstanding inside linebacker, was there.
And see, this is why I think Brian Kelly was being honest with himself. It's going to be tough sledding up in the trenches to try to move the football by running, and Mosley is able to clean it up. But look at the Alabama defensive line. Jesse Williams, the nose guard, who bench presses over 600 pounds, just manhandling that front, making it easy for C.J. Mosley and those linebackers to clean it up. They're going to have to throw if they want to have success moving the ball.
Golson sprints to the left, throws, Jones dives for it, incomplete. Ball out of bounds, and so now it will be 3rd down.
Big emphasis from Kirby Smart is to keep Everett Golson in the pocket. Do not allow him to create. Kirby Smart, the defensive coordinator for Alabama, Nick Saban, he said, we don't want to try to rush upfield. Let's just try to contain him, show us that he can throw the football from the pocket.
Coaches are happy to have DeVaris Daniels, number 10, back, and he's slotted to the left for the Irish, trotted in from the sideline. His daddy played in the National Football League for a long time, and he's got good ability. Golson, though, is forced out of the pocket on the move. throws near side incomplete. Notre Dame forced a punt.
Anybody can tell you it's always tough against Alabama on third down. And when you give Kirby Smart and Nick Saban 4 weeks to put a plan together, everybody knows that they're going to get creative with their blitz package, and they want to flush him on third down. That time they were able to get him out of the pocket quickly, and he just had nowhere to go with the football.
Ben Turk standing on the Notre Dame at 20-yard line. Christian Jones on the other 20 for Alabama. High bounce. Jones grabs it and he's nailed at the 19-yard line, and that'll bring A.J. McCarron back into the game. Now, when you're a quarterback at Alabama, you see that lovely lady there. She does go to Auburn, I want to admit that, but she also Miss Alabama, and that's A.J. McCarron's girlfriend, okay? And right there on the right is Dee Dee Bonner. That's A.J.'s mom. Wow, I'm telling you, quarterbacks, you get all the good-looking women. What a beautiful woman.
Wow, A.J.'s doing some things right down in
So if you're a youngster in Alabama, start getting the football out and throw it around the backyard with Pop.
This is a big series for Notre Dame's defense, down 14.
Yeldon cuts back to the left. Couldn't quite keep his balance. Mata was in on the stop, and we're mentioning Mata too many times, Herbie. That front seven of Notre Dame is not doing what we saw them do throughout the regular season.
No, right now I think they're guessing a little bit too on what play might be coming. Again, they're doing a really good job of mixing in the run with the play action pass. So far, Alabama 16 plays, 10 runs and 6 passes. And McCarron right now is just in a rhythm. He doesn't get a lot of pressure. They're running a lot to the left here behind the big left tackle Quanjo and big Chance Warmack, the left guard.
There's that play action that he favors. Throws downfield for the first down, and the receiver breaks free. Norwood took it across midfield. The Irish turn him loose.
When you run the football, it makes it very easy to set up play action because guys get out of position. He could have gone to Kelly Johnson out in the flat or the deeper throw to Norwood. Alabama feels that this is a mismatch out in the perimeter. If they get those safeties down in run support and you isolate those corners, Russell and Jackson one-on-one, they feel that they can have a big night throwing the football. And again, A.J. McCarron right now, he's 6 of 7 here in the early going.
That was 25 more yards to Norwood on that pass play. Norwood got 54 yards already tonight. Play action, fired, and that's complete to Cooper, the freshman from right here in Miami, and he slips down the sideline. Now, A.J. McCarron is trying to win back-to-back national championships as a quarterback, and folks, that would be a first. You will take a look that during the BCS era, Chris Winkie, Ken Dorsey, Matt Leinart all tried it and all came up short. So McCarron could be breathing rarefied air here tonight if he can win back-to-back championships for Coach Nick Saban. Remember, Greg McElroy was Saban's quarterback when they defeated Texas a few years ago in Pasadena. Big Nix finally shows up and makes a stop.
That's one of the first times we've seen the Notre Dame defensive line assert themselves. Nix is able to get through, shoot that gap with Barrett Jones. And actually, Stephon Tuitt also was able to beat his block. And the first negative play for Alabama sets up now a second long. And you can credit the defensive line there. Manti Te'o gets a lot of recognition. But for Notre Dame to play their kind of game, the defensive line has got to play better. And that maybe could be the start of something. We'll see.
Handoff to Yeldon. Yeldon is spun around and keeps going across the 35-yard line. That'll bring up third down.
It couldn't tell there if Louis Nix, as he was reaching in there to get involved in trying to make that tackle. You see him lined up there with Barrett Jones. He kind of reaches his big paw out there and almost knocked the football loose. I couldn't tell if he got the face mask there or not, but no, he's able to avoid it.
Christian Jones is one of the wide receivers here, Herbie. He and Norwood are off to the right on this 3rd and 6. Cooper's at the bottom of your screen. He's a deep threat. And A.J.'s looking his direction. Got Cooper Amari. Cooper down to the 6-yard line. He's the one who can take it deep. Just ask the Georgia Bulldogs. 27 yards, Herbie.
They pick on Kivara Russell, the corner, who stays up front with Marvin Shin. You can see number 80 moved out to the flat, and it did just enough to keep 6 Russell up there to keep his attention. A huge window right behind him, and an easy throw again by A.J. McCarron. A.J. really working the outside now of this Notre Dame defense.
Here comes Jesse Williams back into that backfield. He'll be the lead blocker. Yeldon, the freshman, is the running back. Yeldon behind Jesse. Got a block. Goes for the end zone, and he's just short of it. Field judge with a good look at it.
Good push again by that left side. Boy, they are really controlling things there. Michael Williams, let's not forget him. We're talking so much about Quanjo and Warmack. But that big tight end Michael Williams doing a great job as well. That's a pretty good effort there by Yeldon.
It's going to be a great running back for Alabama.
Oh, boy. Yeah, they're going to take him. I thought he might have broken the plane there, Brent. And it's really going to come down to where his knee is.
Well, the first period has come to an end here. The Irish being dominated in this BCS championship game. They'll try to regroup in the 2nd quarter. This drive, the nose guard is the fullback in that formation in front of Yeldon. They've already had a long touchdown drive, and now they have 2 over 80 yards as Yeldon takes it across. Herbie, let's go back. Do you remember our opener? Alabama took a 21-0 lead over Michigan in their first game, and now here tonight they lead the Irish 21-0.
I mean, they are dominating in every phase of this football game. Running the football, getting their quarterback in a position to have success throwing. He's 8 of 9. The defense has been dominant so far. Notre Dame right now just can't do anything right, and they're down 21 points.
Shelley knocks through his 3rd extra point. So Alabama has 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns here tonight against this ballyhooed Notre Dame defense.
And here's the view from our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. Follow that big nose guard, Jesse Williams. He collides with Manti Te'o to open it up, and then puts the safety right on his back to lead Yeldon into the end zone.
Jesse going to play in the NFL. Oh, by the way, he was an outstanding rugby player in Australia. And so as Alabama goes up by 3 touchdowns, look who's real happy about that. An Auburn fan cheering an Alabama touchdown. Wow.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that. I mean, I don't care. Boyfriend or girlfriend or not.
She's switching. She's going to go to graduate school at Alabama.
You know, you and I talked in the open about when you're such an underdog, you have got to come out and have something good happen to get yourself to believe that you can do it. And if you're the heavy favorite, you got to come out and try to kill the will. That's exactly what Bama's been able to do here in this first quarter.
Well, we'll see what Notre Dame can do. You know, they've been under pressure all season long. It hasn't been easy for them, okay? And they've been able to come back. This, though, is the toughest task they face all year because of who they're up against. Ball's going to come out of the 25-yard line, and Everett Golson will come out now and see if he can get something going here.
Yeah, and the big thing for Brian Kelly is you're trying to manage this game and still get yourself and your team to think, hey, we're still going to be competitive. And as a play caller, you know it's tough to run the football. And so you've got to be able to try to get Everett Golson going a little bit, and you got to try to do it now under some circumstances that are putting you into some pretty obvious passing situations down by 21 here early.
23 total yards for the Irish and over 200 for Bama. Golson, straight back, has good time, fires downfield, caught by Daniels. There's the young man, Herbie, who can start to turn things around for the Irish.
It's great to see him back. He missed some games after an injury in the Boston College game, and he is a guy that can get vertical in a hurry, and they're actually going to go tempo now, but a great throw. You can see the arm strength there of Golson, and a good job by Daniels of being able to hold on to that football, getting behind Clinton Dix.
14 and a half minutes left here in the first half. And a touchdown would be huge for the morale of this Notre Dame team. It's second down and 10. They were going back to him that time, and Robert Lester, the safety, covered him.
Urban Meyer, who was a guest on our pregame show, made a really interesting comment. He took a team of the Florida Gators in 06 to the national championship when they played Ohio State, and he said the first time we had a little bit of doubt going in. We needed some things to happen to get us to believe we belonged. In 08, when they played Oklahoma here in this stadium, it was a completely different feel.
Now on second down is Riddick, and he is lit up. Nothing doing, and that is Mr. Mosley, the junior from Theodore High School in Alabama.
Mosley is all over the field. He is known as the more athletic linebacker for Alabama, but Kirby Smart said, late in the SEC championship, we kept him on the field for every single situation. Tonight's the first night he's starting in every play.
Needing 10 yards, Golson will try to take off, and he's not going to get it. Tackled at the 39, Jeffrey Pagan, one of the defensive linemen, bringing down Golson.
Good job again on third down. Golson has a tendency to want to take off. The defensive ends aren't getting too far upfield. They've been taught all month to try to keep Golson in the pocket, make him step up into the pocket, and allow the rest of the defense to be able to corral him.
Brian Kelly said, we got to go. We're down 3 scores. It's 4th down and 5. Got to make something happen. Golson going to fire deep. Jones, jump ball deflected by Blue. The JC transfer was under attack, and he made a fine play that time.
How about Deion Blue? He's been at times picked on in the SEC. That time he goes up and high points the ball, and Jones never had a chance to get to that for a first down. Notre Dame took a chance and went downfield for the big one.
Now, can the Irish defense stand up? Can they finally stop the tide? Play action on first down, and he has to throw it away. Pressure was being brought by Notre Dame that time, and Prince Shimbo.
Brent, I don't think you and I were necessarily surprised that Notre Dame went for it, but the fact that in man coverage they just went vertically downfield. Here's Theo Riddick, who does a little option route and just gets smothered by the linebackers, but really a low percentage opportunity here for Everett Golson by just throwing it down the field against man coverage, and I think he and Brian Kelly may be trying to work things out. Kind of a low percentage play there on 4th down.
No doubt. Second down and 10 for McCarron. And Shimbo was bringing a little heat that last play. Lacey. Now the Irish defense back-to-back strong plays. Carlo Calabrese, number 44, in on that stop.
There's good quickness. Calabrese, the more physical linebacker between he and Dan Fox. That time they were literally shooting downhill before Eddie Lacy even had his hands on the football. Look at him shooting through the gaps. There's nothing the offensive line could do there. What that does eventually is allow Bama to go back to play action when those linebackers start shooting downhill like that.
Now, Alabama is 4 of 4 on third down, but this one's 3rd and 12, and McCarron undoubtedly will be throwing for the 11th time in this game. Middle, open, got the first down, and is there a holding call? There's a penalty flag.
Yep. They only rushed 2, and they're able to somehow get a holding call here. Looked like it was on the left side there, Brent.
Offense number 71, a 10-yard penalty.
Cyrus Kwanjo, the left tackle.
Chance Warmack and Kwanjo actually lock in. Both of them lock in on Prince Shimba at the top of the screen. There it is, right there. He just grabs him and throws him down. Notre Dame rushed 2, dropped 9 into coverage, and they still had a holding call with just 2 rushers.
That's Alabama's first penalty here tonight. 3 penalties against Notre Dame.
It's a big opportunity for Notre Dame's defense. It could also not just come up with a stop, it could affect field position here for the Notre Dame offense.
Bama sends out 4 receivers. Amari Cooper wide to the left. McCarron steps away from pressure. The middle is open. He won't get the first down. He's down at the 35, and Alabama is finally forced to punt.
A.J. McCarron's probably thinking, my gosh, that holding call. If we didn't have that holding call, we keep this drive alive.
Cody Mandel, and maybe for Notre Dame here, Devontae Neal, the very talented freshman, can get something going. He's the return man. We got 11:27 remaining here in the first half. Desperately needing to get on the scoreboard. Low kick, long, Neal back, fumbles, ball loose, headed for the sideline, dive, and it goes out of bounds. So the Irish will take over. Oh, this was close. Oh, baby. Flirting with a near disaster here, Herbie.
So much for field position.
But the young man had the presence of mind to get it out of bounds. Let's get it going. First down and 10. Riddick up the middle, explodes. And the center fielder waited for him and took him down at the 29. Lester.
It's the first time we've seen Notre Dame be able to establish the line of scrimmage here. Outstanding block by Chris Watt, the left guard, to open that play up. And I'll tell you, Theo Riddick has great quickness. And if you get him to that second level, he can accelerate into the secondary. Big first play there to start this drive.
Braxton Cave, the strongest player on the Notre Dame team, is a center who blew that open. And this time, nothing doing. I mean, they were jumped. Clinton Dix got all over him on a safety blitz.
And he came down. He kind of baited Everett Golson. Everett Golson never even saw him. He waited, and then right as the ball was snapped, he was actually running downhill. And I'll tell you, Theo Riddick lucky to hold on to the football that time because Clinton Dix leveled him as he got the ball.
Riddick is out. Sierra Wood checks in. Golson on 2nd and 13. Jones makes the catch at the 34-yard line, short of the first down. Blue making the stop. And over on the Alabama sideline, meanwhile, they are still tending to A.J. McCarron, who looked a little awkward after he went down on that 3rd down run and went over there. But Herbie, with ice and the way they were bending the toe, couldn't that be a cramp?
Yeah, you know, here in this humidity here in South Florida, you wonder if that cramp on his right calf might be affecting him.
So Riddick is over on the left flank for the Irish in this 3rd and 3. And Golson going to take off. I don't believe he got the first down. I think he's a good yard plus short.
He was looking to get the ball thrown to his left to Tyler Eifert. You can see Eifert and Golson talking right there about the route adjustment to the coverage that he saw. Golson was anticipating one thing, and Eifert did another. And because he didn't do what he thought that he was going to do, he had to try to take off and run with it.
Ben Turk steps in. You have to wonder, because it happened several times during the season. Would Brian Kelly send in Tommy Reese? Fair catch by Jones back at the 11-yard line. So while that is going on, A.J. McCarron is buckling up and coming back. And Fluker. And it's a 3-touchdown lead for the champions of the Southeastern Conference. Here is Lacey. Patiently picks his way for another first down. Let's check in down below. Tom, what was the final prognosis on A.J. McCarron on the sideline?
McCarron came over to the bench, Brett, after the scramble on that last series. He's described as suffering a Charlie horse on that scramble from an awkward hit. He received ice treatment. It was massaged out. And ultimately, McCarron back in the game. A slight hitch to the way he's moving, but ready to go.
Lewis Nix, 344 pounds landing on your calf will do that to you.
That's the full horse on you. First down and 10. Lacy again behind the left side. There's that spin move. Throws a defender aside.
I think I've seen more missed tackles from Notre Dame's defense in this first half than I've seen in 12 games of watching them play this year. Zeke Mata has been in position. He was in that last play. He was in position to make a play, unable to. We've seen even Manti Te'o in position to make plays, unable to. Don't get me wrong, Eddie Lacy's a phenomenal back, but they are really unsure of themselves right now, trying to secure Eddie Lacy and trying to bring him down. 92
yards for Lacy here. Just inside of 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Wide open is the tight end Michael Williams, who has one of their 3 touchdowns.
You see this Notre Dame defense. It's been one of the more dominant forces all year, and really a big reason why they're in this game tonight. But you can see what Alabama has done in this first half. They've just had their way, not only running the football, but I mean, when A.J. McCarron drops back to throw, it's like he's playing catch out in the backyard. He's 9 of 11 so far for 118 yards.
Back to throw again and drops it off to Lacy, who juggles it when he turned around, and it'll be second down.
Notre Dame is so conscious of not letting McCarron have a receiver like Amari Cooper get behind him, that they're opening up some easy throws underneath, and those 18-yard out, those comeback routes, those are very, very easy for him to throw because everybody's bailing to be able to prevent the deep ball.
LSU feels your pain, Notre Dame. 21-0 in New Orleans last year. The Tide rolled. Then had 5 players drafted in the first 35 picks of the NFL draft. Nick Saban and this staff simply reloaded. Second down and 10. McCarron in trouble that time, and able to get it off and flip it because of pressure from Ishaq Williams.
Ishaq Williams gets the pressure, but really Capron Lewis Moore sniffed that screen out, and McCarron didn't have anywhere to throw the football. Capron Lewis Moore, one of the seniors, the leaders of this football team, doing a very good job there on that play and forcing another third down here for Alabama.
Third down and 10. Bunch receivers with a little motion. Cooper's at the bottom of the set. McCarron gonna go deep. Cooper breaks free. Oh, he couldn't quite get it. Or to have a home run.
You knew it's a matter of time till they try to get the ball to Amari Cooper downfield, and this is something you just cannot do if you're the safety. You've got Zeke Mata back there, Matthias Farley, both, and that ball just goes right behind them. If there's a little bit more air under it, Cooper walks underneath that for a deadly touchdown in this football game. McCarron thought he had it. They just miss on the big one.
Devontae Neal, remember he juggled the last punt. Cody Mandel, the Bama punter. Drives him back inside the 5-yard line. And he's going down at the 2-yard line.
First, Neal bobbles a punt that almost gives the ball back to Alabama, and now he fields a punt inside his own 5-yard line.
Landon Collins with the name, trailing 21-0. And Herbie, they're coming out from the shadow of their own goal line. Golson from the end zone throws complete, and they finally get the tight end Eifert involved here.
It's the second time he's been able to make a catch. They tried to get the ball to him earlier in the first quarter when they went up in the air, tried to get it over the top of D. Milner, who made the play on the sideline. This time, again, one-on-one opportunity against the linebackers, a play that Eifert's got to be able to make. Remember, he and Golson had a little talk after that last third down pass where there was a miscommunication.
Comes up under center now and hands off to Riddick. They've got 6.5 minutes, Herbie, to get something on the board. It would be huge for Notre Dame if they can break through.
A big part of playing in these games with a long layoff and you're a big underdog is you got to get something positive to happen to get yourself to believe. And right now, Brian Kelly's still searching for that. They've been able to step up a little bit better defensively. They forced the 2 punts. Now it's a matter of trying to get Everett Golson and this offense going. Comes the blitz from the top. He's seeing it. He may check out of it. Geno Smith. Now that Kirby Smart's checking out of it.
Fires to Daniels, and it was complete for a Notre Dame first down at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, he recognized the blitz off to his right, made a check to be able to get an easy throw back into the sidelines here. Simple throw, good read, and a nice job of recognizing the blitz. But what's interesting is Kirby Smart called off the blitz, but they were still able to execute the play for the first.
Alabama owns a huge depth advantage in this football game. 6 defensive linemen rotating now for the Tide in this football game, keeping fresh bodies out there. Play action. Golson takes off, comes back the other way. His receiver Daniels again, almost intercepted. Clinton Dix simply ran out of field. It was a little bit underthrown, and it's incomplete.
A really good job again by Bama of chasing him down, keeping him in the pocket, not allowing him to get to the outside. But still, Golson made a pretty good effort there to buy a lot of time. Very, very tough for Clinton Dix to be able to stay with his man that long. Great coverage and a good job again of corralling Everett Golson.
John Goodman checks in as one of the wide receivers for the Irish. Robbie Toma from Hawaii is over on the right slot. Golson looks in that direction and now backs out under pressure and fires to Eifert, but that's short of the first down. Clinton Dix again.
Yeah, and what they're trying to do with Golson is, again, keep him in the pocket. Here's Hubbard, their best pass rusher. Instead of chasing upfield, he's just trying to keep him in that pocket, make him make a play from inside the pocket. Here, they keep him in the pocket, make him try to scramble, step into the pocket, and there's 3 defenders able to chase him down. They did it again on the previous 2 plays.
6'7" Troy Nicholas on the field for Notre Dame. He's number 85. He's going to be a fine tight end. 3rd down and 3. They have not converted a first down on 3rd down yet. Play action. Golson under pressure. Spins away. Sacco and down. That was Hubbard staying with him, and Hubbard, you talk about size for a linebacker, 6'6".
Hubbard just didn't give up on the play, but outstanding coverage as well. They're trying to catch him off guard here, a little bit of a play action. They don't even have Eifert out involved, and Sinceri, who's known as a great blitzer, gets involved. Hubbard doesn't give up on the play, but really the secondary, their awareness to the route and recognizing that was the key to the play.
Ben Turk hangs it up. Christian Jones, fair catch at the 34-yard line. 3:43 to go. Everett Golson again having a conversation with his head coach over there on the sideline. Remember, during the year, Coach Kelly yanked him out several times and inserted Tommy Reese. But I do want to make a point about Everett Golson. In the Pittsburgh game, it was Golson who bailed the coach out in the second half.
Right. But with his mobility, I don't think you have much of a choice. If you bring Tommy Reese into this game with this defense, I think it would really handicap your opportunity to make plays. Golson's mobility gives you at least a fighter's chance at trying to be able to move the ball.
Here's the handoff to Yeldon. He swarmed around the 30-yard line, and Coach Saban would dearly love to kill the clock here and go into the locker room up 21-0. He'd like to take it on down there. Here is a man. I laughed when I read those rumors that he might be going to the Cleveland Browns and several. He's not leaving Tuscaloosa, folks. He's got a much better job. I'm telling you that right now. He doesn't have 1 first-round draft choice a year. He signs 4 or 5. Why would you leave? You're making $5 million. Holy Toledo. Here we go now. 2nd down and 8. Here's Yeldon. Barrels through for a first down.
See, I don't think they're thinking about 21-0 at the half. I think they're thinking 28, at least 24-0. With A.J. McCarron, the way he's executing right now and the way they're able to run the football, I think they want more points here before they get to the halftime. And again, the balanced approach, keeping Notre Dame off balance. McCarron now on 1st and 10. This is always usually a time to look out for him with a play-action pass right off after a first down.
First down and 10 for McCarron. Clock continuing to run now, down toward that 2:30. Off Yeldon's hands and almost intercepted by Teo at 7 on the year. That's how he gets many of them, Herbie. That deflection in the middle of the field, and Teo took a shot at it.
Yeah, I think that may have surprised Yeldon. That ball came out in a hurry and just almost went right off of his face mask and straight up into the air. As you said, we've had a number of games where Manti Teo seems to just be in the right place at the right time and able to come up with a lot of interceptions. That would have been a big one for the Irish, obviously looking for any break that they can find.
Second down and 10. Yeldon short of the first down marker and the 50-yard line. Sheldon Day making the stop.
One of the biggest surprises to me in this first half has been the missed tackles by Notre Dame. Even when they've been in position to make plays, they've not been able to make tackles on Eddie Lacy a lot of times. I mean, Zeke Mott is one of their best tacklers, most physical player, along with Manti Teo, and that theme's kind of continued throughout this first half. Being in position to make plays and not being able to bring down the ball carrier.
Yeldon is the running back. Kelly Johnson is the fullback on this 3rd and 3. Yeldon will follow Johnson. Johnson got blown up. And Yeldon with a second effort breaks free. He did it on his own.
Brent, we just talked about missed tackles. And here's Manti Teo again. Recognized as a top linebacker in the country. Notre Dame's in perfect position here to be able to keep him well short of the first down. Manti Teo and the rest of this defense unable to wrap him up and bring down T.J. Yeldon.
Them a 1st and 10 on the Irish 42-yard line. Screen pass, Yeldon. Irish jumping. Shimbo and Teo are over there on the side. And, of course, for Alabama fans, they'll never forget that screen pass for the touchdown against LSU to Yeldon when they came down the field. And now we've got an injured Notre Dame player, and that's Lewis Moore, and that would be a big loss.
He right away was you could see he was in a lot of pain. He is such a leader for this team, such an important part of that defensive line. If Captain Lewis Moore, he 306 pounds out of Texas, a co-captain, had 6 sacks on the year. More than that, you can just tell by looking at him. He's a guy that's got quite a personality and a guy that his teammates really respond to. But I happened to be watching him on that play the whole way, and it did not look good. Right away, showing a lot of pain and reaching down to that right leg.
So again, as you take a look at this, we talked about the fact that Notre Dame lacks the depth, and you could see it right there on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, it looked like when he jumped up to try to knock the ball down, he had some kind of reaction there that clearly he was reaching down to his knee when he went up into the air. So right away something wasn't right, but great to see him up on his feet.
Well, let's hope that he's going to be all right. And I want to remind everybody that the Buick halftime report is coming up. We've got a little over a minute here left in the first half. Chris Fowler, Desmond Howard, and Herbie, you mentioned Urban Meyer, the Ohio State coach. He'll break down the first half, which has been dominated by Alabama.
you know, not only is depth an issue, but down here in South Florida, you wonder in the second half if conditioning becomes a factor. Not to mention, Alabama's had the ball for 19 minutes here in this first half, almost a 10-minute advantage in time of possession.
They have 267 total yards, 149 rushing yards, and Lacey trying to pick up more. So now 1 minute left here in the first half. And the clock is running. Alabama up 3 touchdowns. So Bama will burn a timeout. They have a long field goal kicker in Cade Foster. A year ago in the championship game, as you see Lewis Moore being tended to on the Notre Dame sideline. A year ago, Jeremy Shelley kicked 5 field goals against LSU. He was wearing number 90 that night, Herbie, and guess what? He's wearing number 5 in honor of that night.
That's great. Much better look, by the way, too. You always worry about a kicker wearing a 90. 5 looks better.
There's Cade Foster. He is the long man. He also handles the kickoffs. 3rd down and 6. They squeeze just a couple more yards out of this, and we'll probably see Cade Foster here. And if they get a first down, they'll try to strike to the end zone. It's as simple as that. McCarron, this time, Jones has got it inside the 10-yard line. 39 seconds, Herbert.
Brent, you're right. They're still thinking about trying to attack 3rd down and long. And here's the true freshman trying to stay with Christian Jones. Never finds the football. Gets beat to the outside. How about the rhythm there by A.J. McCarron? He put that right to the spot. But Jones can make a play on it. And the true freshman, Shoemate, didn't have any chance. He never turned his head and found the ball.
Two receivers to the left. McCarron throwing all the way. Drops it off. Lacey in a foot race. End zone. Touchdown, Alabama. Tide rolling again. If this was a prize fight, they'd call it off.
Well, that play, to me, kind of sums up A.J. McCarron and the way this game has gone. Not just a touchdown pass, Brent, but it was the way he read the defense, stayed poised in the pocket, checked it down to Eddie Lacy, and he ends up in the end zone for a touchdown.
During the season, Notre Dame allowed 10.33 points per game. Most points they allowed all year, 26 in that triple overtime win over Pittsburgh. Alabama has exceeded that here in the first half.
He looks off to his right, is tight end. Look how he's calm. There's no pressure. And instead of forcing the throw to Michael Williams, he calmly comes back, looks for his check down, finds Eddie Lacy, no pressure. And, of course, we've seen Eddie Lacy, what he can do in the open field. No, by the way, Notre Dame continuing to miss tackles in the open field.
So quarterback A.J. McCarron celebrates again with his 2nd touchdown pass of the night. His girlfriend on the left, one-time Miss Alabama, and Mom is there on the right. Johnny Football may have some competition for the Heisman Trophy next year, folks. A.J. McCarron is just getting better and better. Atkinson now for the Irish. And he is out of bounds around the 20-yard line.
We've seen A.J. McCarron be the leader for this football team, and he really has demonstrated such poise when we've been around him this week. and it's continued tonight. 12 of 18, very few poor decisions, has a lot of time to work with, and the combination of Eddie Lacy. It starts with Eddie Lacy in the running game, takes the pressure off of McCarron, sets up the play-action pass game. The two have been really clicking tonight, and Notre Dame's defense is really just guessing right now what play might be coming next.
And those big uglies in front of McCarron doing a pretty good job here today.
Yeah, that helps.
26 seconds to go for Golson and the Irish. Incomplete. Daniels was the target. Milner had coverage that time. There's a fellow who's going to play a lot of football on Sundays.
I'm very surprised they've gone after D. Milner. Of all the defenders that you would think they'd want to try to maybe find some matchups, the top corner arguably in college football is probably not the guy you want to test. And they've gone after him, and I'd be careful here with 21 seconds. Maybe just try to get out of dodge. You throw the football like that against D. Milner, he could step in front of it and take it to the end zone.
Curling in underneath again, coming after him with Eifert. Milner is there, and Nico Johnson dropped back. He's one of the outstanding veterans of this team. So the final seconds tick away. Alabama, 28. Notre Dame, nothing. And the Tide head for the tunnel first. It's good ball. First, though.
Just in.
And, you know, the Irish should forget it's 28-0. Start from scratch and see what they can do here.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
You're right.
Okay. Atkinson and his teammate says, take a knee down there. Let's check in down below with Heather.
Brent, I was able to catch up with Brian Kelly coming out of the locker room. He has absolutely no intention of making a quarterback change. He told Everett Golson in the locker room, I need you to be quicker. I need your timing to be better, especially against that tight man coverage that Bama's showing him. And then he said, I just need 7 points. All I care about is this next drive. Now, some bad news for Notre Dame's defense. Capron Lewis Moore is out with a right knee injury. He will not return, Brent.
All right, Heather, thank you very much. And, of course, when you look down the road with this redshirt freshman, Coach Kelly's got an eye on next season, too. So he wants to keep this young man improving, and he doesn't want to hurt that confidence here with a quick hook here tonight. Riddick cuts back into the middle, and that's a pretty good-looking first down run behind Braxton Cave, Chris Watt, and Mike Golick.
You know, I think, you know, you and I are thinking the same thing, and Brian Kelly sounds like obviously as a head coach, he just wants to try to get points up on the board, but he's right. This is a drive where you want to get not just points on the board, but you want to get your team to believe, guys, this is possible.
Off the blitz, throws complete. And they win at Milner again. Daniels makes the reception. They're not backing away from 28's reputation.
No, it's probably the 5th time they've gone back into the boundary to try to attack one of the top corners in the country. The ball is thrown perfectly. The back shoulder fade. The ball is in the air well before Daniels even comes back to the football. Gives the thumbs up to Everett Golson.
Daniels had a broken clavicle in the BC game, back off the injured list tonight. Golson fires other side, and Jones dives for the first down, maybe just a little bit short of it as it's spotted. Blue is battling him.
Well, this is a good job again by Everett Golson. He gets enough time here, puts that football away from the defender. You see how he threw that? He positioned the ball as he's falling, by the way, backwards, away from Blue, or Jones could make a nice play on it.
Second down and short. And Riddick picks up the first down before Clinton Dix, who's been extremely active, along with Mosley, pushed him back, but he had the first down, and they will move the chains.
We've not seen Theo Riddick involved much in the passing game. In fact, he's been more in the backfield. I thought, you know, coming in, they might want to try to find ways to get him in some favorable matchups, but they've needed him in that backfield more than in that slot position.
Toma and Jones are to Golson's left. A little bit of a mix-up there as they were crossing. Toma was the intended target.
Again, you can see there he's communicating that to Brian Kelly. One of the things that Alabama really can challenge you on is your route adjustments. You've got to be able to recognize coverage on the fly. They'll show you one look in coverage and then jump to another look when the ball is snapped. And if the quarterback and the receivers aren't on the same page, you'll often see passes that are thrown away like that.
Second down and 10. Golson fires far side, one-on-one. Daniels, jump ball. Clinton Dix dives for it and got it. What a spectacular interception by number 6, who's had a whale of a game. He's a sophomore from Orlando, Florida.
Brent, maybe you and I are looking at a different scouting report, but why do they keep going to Dean Milner? Dean Milner makes the play. Great awareness by Clinton Dix. But yet again, look at the position that Milner has. There's nowhere for that football to go. They're lucky Milner didn't come down with the interception. He gets a hand on it, goes up in the air, and an outstanding play by Clinton Dix by being in position, bringing that interception down. There are a lot of different defensive backs out there besides Dean Milner. It's almost like they're intentionally, they saw press coverage, man-to-man back to the boundary, and they said, aha, exactly what we want. Let's go after the All-American corner.
A.J. McCarron and the Alabama offense with their first snap here of the second half. Eddie Lacy put up 96 yards, looking for 100 now, and he spins free, getting close to the 100-yard mark. Dan Fox with the stop for Notre Dame.
Zeke Mata up there close to the line of scrimmage. We mentioned, and you even heard Brian Kelly walking off the field with Heather Cox mentioning we didn't tackle. And we did some things that were uncharacteristic of this football team in the first half. We'll see if Mata and Manti Te'o and company can do a better job of getting pressure and trying to be better tacklers here.
2nd and 7. Jackson's got Cooper. So Lacy, 100-yard night, and works that far side.
When Manti Te'o came in, we talked about how he's the heart and soul of this team, and you can see here's a missed tackle early on that Eddie Lacy touchdown, and even when he's had a chance to be able to get in position, he's running into big linemen like Chance Warmack. Now, let's face it, Manti Te'o and this Notre Dame defense, they haven't seen this kind of offensive line all year and these kind of running backs all year, and they failed miserably in the first half.
And if Lacy, who is a junior, decides to come out, his stock is going way up tonight in the National Football League. We'll take a break. Well, guess what? They're closing in on a new one to take back to Tuscaloosa. They lead it 28-0, and look at Nix.
Lewis Nix is down. He was able to walk off, but Nix is down, and Captain Lewis Moore is already out. That's 2 of the top defensive linemen on the Notre Dame front.
Play action. Rolling is McCarron. And it is complete to Norwood.
I think it was an effort play here towards the boundary. He just ends up falling awkwardly. And then it looked like he might try to walk it off and then just kind of went down. 344-pound presence there in the middle of that Notre Dame defense. It's a big loss if he's unable to come back.
First down and 10 for Bama. Yeldon swings it wide to the left and comes across the 40-yard line before Te'o makes the stop.
Now, a big aspect of this football game was going to be Notre Dame's front 7 holding up against the run. And in the first half alone, Alabama, when they were running the football with just that front 7 in the box, they averaged nearly 9 yards a carry with 7 in the box. So when you're averaging 9 yards a carry with 7 in the box, those safeties are going to get involved, and that's why McCarron's been able to pitch and catch with the wide receivers against these Notre Dame corners.
Need 4 yards here. Got it. Jones to the Irish 46-yard line. You know, I saw that picture of Teo down in the middle of the Irish defense and Barrett Jones on the other side. Both of these fellows attended a whole lot of banquets and picked up hardware during the month of December. They became good friends. Jones was on crutches for a while, and Teo would carry his suitcase down, and Teo and visit the family at the end of this season. So Teo and Jones, best of friends, and Jones is getting the best of him here tonight.
No doubt about it.
First down and 10. Here's Yeldon behind the left side to the 40-yard line. Farley. And it is amazing when you take a look at the awards that Manti Teo picked up. And he was the Heisman Trophy runner-up to boot. So he's one of the most decorated college football players ever. And yet he'd probably trade all that hardware for a 7-7 score right now. Yeah. Wouldn't you think?
Oh, absolutely. You picked up 7 individual awards. He went to New York City for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. And tonight, right now, Notre Dame's down big. You're
Yeldon slipped and not going to make the first down. Well, the other side of the two friends' story belongs to Barrett Jones, and it too is one of the most remarkable stories in the history of college football. This is Barrett Jones's 3rd championship game. He's out of Germantown, Tennessee. In 2010, when they defeated Tennessee, he started at right guard. A year ago in New Orleans against LSU, he was the left tackle and won the outlet. This year, he's the center, and he won the Remington Award. You talk about a celebrated offensive line.
And you talk about being decorated. I talked to some Alabama people. You could make a pretty good argument that he's one of the most individual decorated players that's ever played for Alabama. That's saying something.
It's good to see that Nix is back, and Heather reports that the test on him was negative, able to play, and Lacey the ball carrier that time. And Louis Nix was right there.
Why we were showing all the different accomplishments for some of these players, you could see that Nix is able to get back out there and try to get involved, and not only that, he's able to make a play. So it's good to see he's back out on the field and keeps him short of the first down.
You look back the past few years, Herbie, we've been around Alabama. It is unbelievable to me that they now have gone 6+ quarters in a BCS championship environment and have not given up a single point. Here's your 4th and 1, and Bama going for it with Lacey. He got it, slips through to the 33-yard line.
See Scott Cochran, the strength and conditioning coach, over there on 4th and 1. He's jumping up and down, trying to encourage the offensive linemen. You know, Alabama is one of these programs really prides themselves on when it comes down to those 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s, whether it's the offense and the defense. And A.J. McCarron now, again, with this balanced attack, looking to continue to move the football deeper into Notre Dame territory.
Off that play-action move of his, sidestep left, come back right. Cooper's wide open. Touchdown, Alabama. 34 yards, the combination that beat Georgia for the SEC championship. Remember, this drive started at their own 3-yard line.
Boy, there's a confused defense right there. Running the football, throwing the football. The balance continues for Doug Nussmeier. Outstanding drive there. 10 plays, 97 yards. And they continue to just embarrass this Notre Dame defense.
So here is Jeremy Shelley. Tacks on another one. A.J. McCarron. He is 15 of 21 tonight. 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. Right back to the route is on. It is 35-0 with 7.5 minutes. 406 yards of offense for the defending national champions. And here comes Atkinson looking to make something happen, and he won't even get back to the 20-yard line.
Go back to this touchdown. Here's Norwood, who's Man coverage. Kelly Johnson, the tight end, man-to-man coverage. And on the backside is Amari Cooper, who's going to drag across. Watch number 6 here, Kavari Russell. He actually gets lost here as these two receivers clear, and Cooper comes around. Russell, I think, is confused in coverage. Not only that, he runs into Zeke Mata, but that is a slow developing play that requires a lot of time. And of course, McCarron once again had all day to throw the football.
Golson fires complete to the sideline and a first down to Daniels. DeVaris Daniels' father played about 15 years in the National Football League, now in the front office of the Washington Redskins. This is a young man who is a redshirt freshman from Vernon Hills, Illinois, and he could become a mighty effective wide receiver for the Irish in the years ahead. Regardless of what's happening here tonight, the future does appear much brighter in South Bend. I know this one hurts right now, but there's another fine recruiting class coming in. Golson's a youngster, snapping off another completion to Eifert. Eifert will be playing Sunday football. He's one of the better tight ends we've seen.
Here's the view from our DirecTV ultimate picture cam of Golson trying to get the ball out to Tyler Eifert. What I like about Eifert here is he doesn't give up on the play and just go out of bounds, even though Quentin Dix is all over him. He bounces it back to the inside, keeps the play alive.
Riddick motions. Golson in trouble, fires it out of bounds. As you watch this defense, Herbie, you're left wondering just how good is Johnny Manziel and Texas A&M. They went into Tuscaloosa and stunned this defense in the first quarter, jumped all over them.
Well, they not only jumped all over them, they had a plan and an approach where they attacked Alabama. Despite going into Tuscaloosa and taking on Nick Saban, they were the aggressor early in that game, and they had success early in that game to get themselves to believe. Notre Dame obviously down 14 here tonight in the first quarter.
Golson gives it back on a counter, and nothing but right all over him. Mosley finally wrestles Wood down. This fooled no one.
That night that Johnny Manziel played against his defense, one of the things that Kirby Smart said he regretted is a lot of times they only rushed 4. And when you give an athletic guy like Manziel who can throw at time, he said, so tonight going up against another athletic quarterback, we want to try to rush 5. We want to do the best that we can to try to contain this guy and flush him from the pocket and not allow him to get into rhythm and have him prove to us that he can make plays from the pocket. We don't want to allow him to use his feet. And obviously, up to this point, it's worked pretty effectively.
0 of 5 on third down and not favored on 3rd and 16. Moving right, firing downfield, and he's got Jones. How about that? 3rd and 16, and Golson makes it happen with his feet.
Well, let's see if he's in bounds when he makes his catch. Ooh. It's like maybe if they're going to call that in, it had to be with his right toe dragging it. I don't think his left foot was down when he secured the ball.
It's a 31-yard gain. Golson incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Eifert was the target.
And they threw a flag there in the backfield, back where Golson is.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 21. Contact with the helmet. A 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
And that, I believe, is only the 2nd penalty here today against Alabama. And it might be 24. Yeah. It might be Smith who did it.
Yeah, he led with his helmet. The true freshman from Atlanta, Georgia.
Notre Dame in the red zone.
Alabama fans coming alive here because they want that shutout streak to continue.
LSU shutout last year. Notre Dame, with 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, hasn't scored. Golson's back, firing high for Eifert and out of the back of the end zone, so it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Again, they're going back into the boundary towards D. Milner. You're not getting a whole lot of separation. Look at Milner back there. You got to give Ivor, you got to understand, he's 6'6". We know that he can go up and make plays on the ball, but he's not getting any kind of separation from the more athletic D. Milner. And Milner's body is always in position to be able to keep Eifert away from where the football is being thrown.
Golson fires back, complete to Jones, and inside the 5-yard line, juggling it, however, and Blue right there, so it will be check the feet here, Herbie.
Jones again with another great catch on the sidelines. Looks like his right foot got down. Boy, that is a great effort. Jones with 2 big catches here to move this ball well into Alabama territory.
So that's 14 more yards for Golson. Goal line defense dashes on the field for Bama. Riddick is next to Golson. Irish looking to crack through against this defense. Riddick stopped short of it. 2nd down and goal coming up now. These fellows on the defense want this shutout to continue too.
And it's so tough to run into the interior of this Alabama defense, especially down in the goal line. There's much better chance with an athletic quarterback of trying to get the ball to the outside, give him an option to use his feet, or pitch it out to the back and give him a chance to get to the corner.
Wood and Riddick are both there with Golson.
There you go.
Golson's going to keep it on an option look and take it in the house. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Chance to get to the edge there, and he has the option here to pitch it or to keep it himself. The defense kind of way to the outside, and he cuts underneath of Dixon and is able to get into the end zone. You got to utilize his athletic ability, and he's got plenty of it.
And Zach Martin, the left tackle, did a great job on that play. Remember what set this up, though. It was a 3rd and 16, and he hit Jones on that far side after scrambling. That's the key play in the drive. We'll be right. There's wonderful folks in Newtown who suffered through that horror. So here we go now with Notre Dame on the scoreboard. Christian Jones is going to come out on that far side. Not a good idea. 13-yard line, he's down. So A.J. McCarron and the Bama offense will ready to go back to work. 406 yards of offense for Alabama here tonight. 35 points. And with the Irish just got the first touchdown 6+ quarters against this defense in the championship game. Yeldon 6 more yards behind the right side. Steen and DJ Fluker.
It's a downhill running football team, and if you're going to give them, it's not going to do very well. And what's great that Nick Saban has kind of created an identity at Alabama is that tandem back. Mark Ingram and Trent Richardson and Eddie Lacy. Now Eddie Lacy and TJ Yeldon keeps them fresh and allows them both to run hard for 4 quarters.
Stepping out to the right for the first down is Yeldon and breaks free on the sideline. There's a penalty flag down.
Holding. Offense number 83. A 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
That's Kevin Norwood, the wide receiver, who was guilty.
You know, you can see this this hole, but look at the angle here by Zeke Mata. We've seen this the whole game. It's one thing to have poor tackling. It's another thing to take such poor angles in trying to bring down a ball carrier. I think they just haven't seen this kind of speed all year, and they're underestimating guys like Yeldon and Lacy when it comes to coming up and run support. They're taking really poor angles.
2nd and 9. Draw play. Yeldon powers his way for the first down.
Bama has had a lot of success running between the tackles tonight with both Yeldon and Lacey. See, not a whole lot off to the right, but some big plays up the middle. 142 yards between the tackles. People wondered, could Alabama's offensive line and these backs run against this front seven? Pretty definitive, yes.
212 rushing yards and 215 passing yards for a very balanced Crimson Tide attack. Yeldon on a cutback, another blown tackle, and he crosses the 30-yard line with 2 minutes remaining in the third. Shembo and Fox finally get Yeldon down, and here comes Lacey. Lacey with a 100-yard night, 120 on the game.
Pretty nice. You take out Yeldon, you bring in Eddie Lacey, or vice versa. You don't miss a whole lot. They complement one another very well.
Remember, Jalston Fowler was injured earlier this year. He's another quality back. Kenyon Drake, a very good-looking sophomore from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. He probably is number 3 here tonight if they ever get there. 2nd down, and here comes Lacey on that little delay. He crosses the 35 for a first down. Russell with the stop for the Irish. Well, the Notre Dame defense, Herbie's had to be on the field for almost 30 minutes here tonight, and you can see that they're really getting worn down.
It's going to be tough in the fourth quarter, not just dealing with being out there so much, but you're looking at quite a deficit, and that's when the mental fatigue starts to set in as much as the physical fatigue.
Wide receivers off to McCarron's left. McCarron 15 at 21. Reaches to Lacey. Lacey steps away from the defender, crosses the 40-yard line. This will be 2nd down. To it with the stop for Notre Dame.
Ty Teo just shot his gap here, taking a chance, anticipating the run. He gets through, and then you can see the left tackle, Quanjo, got just enough of him there to keep him from getting back there to Eddie Lacey.
Second down and 7 for the Tide. McCarron comes toward the near side and puts it into Cooper's hands for a completion.
What a throw.
Just across midfield.
Oh, man. I mean, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
Isn't that the truth?
I mean, that is just... if you can make that throw, there isn't a throw tonight that A.J. McCarron can't make. On the run, throws it. I thought he was close to throwing it out of bounds, and somehow Cooper comes down with that. Great job. That's a true freshman, by the way, holding on to that football for that catch.
Texas, LSU, and now Notre Dame. 35-7 we begin. Quarter number 4. Lacey slips and he's down. Herbie, let's take a look at tonight's good hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
Well, a lot of times you think of receivers when you think of good hands, but tonight Eddie Lacey has been using his hands in a variety of ways, whether it's using his hands to knock away would-be tacklers or being able to hold on to that football as defenders are trying to get their hands on the football themselves. He's just done a really good job of securing it, taking care of the ball, and showing he's got not only good feet and great balance, but also the good hands to be able to have a great night tonight.
2nd down and 14. Off the play action, drops it down to Kelly Johnson. First time he's handled the football here tonight. Well, these coaches have incentives, and when they work for public institutions like Alabama, you can find them out. And there is Nick Saban, his base salary, BCS National Championship appearance, $110,000. Win the title tonight, $200,000. That's a pretty good payday.
NFL. He's working his way to $6 million.
No
NFL.
way he's going to
Plus,
the
he's
NFL.
happy.
But you know,
his wife's happy.
They might want to call Kirby Smart as defensive coordinator. I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns. Find out if he's interested. Here's your 3rd down and 9. McCarron fires right at the mark. Let's see if he gets the spot. That was Williams, the tight end, Michael Williams. Looks like they're going to give him the 1st down.
That's a 1st down. He's Shaq Williams, who's really 260 pounds, number 11, right in the middle of your screen. He's not necessarily the most nimble defender in space, and Michael Williams easily just sits there in the soft spot of the zone, and an easy throw yet again for A.J. McCarron. What a surprise. 18 to 24 now.
13 minutes. 1st down and 10. Play action. McCarron going to go for the touchdown. Cooper incomplete in the end zone.
They used Kevin Norwood to clear out the defender, and it opened it up for a one-on-one opportunity, which Alabama always wants to be able to take advantage of. That's a great move by the freshman Cooper. I'll tell you, you talk about a polished receiver for a true freshman. This guy has been sensational all year, and tonight they've been able to try to find him in some one-on-one chances. They just missed another home run there to the young man.
Terry Bridgewater, now at Louisville, was his high school quarterback at Northwestern High School. Miami thought Herbie, that they had both Cooper and Bridgewater. Can you imagine what that combination would be like down in Coral Gables? Now they flash it out to Shin. So we've talked and mentioned about the fact that Nick Saban's going no place, going to stay right there. But there have been some moves. Chip Kelly, he's not going to the NFL either. He's going back to Oregon. And Syracuse interested in Notre Dame defensive coordinator Bob Diaco.
Yeah, it's Chip Kelly making that announcement. And, you know, the last couple years he's had some opportunities. There's Bob Diaco, the defensive coordinator. We'll see if anything comes to play itself out after this game as far as Syracuse is concerned.
3rd down and 4. Lacey bursts to the middle. Across the 20-yard line. Lacey closing in on $150 here tonight.
Well, I just love to watch Eddie Lacy when he's healthy. Watch him at the initial point of attack. Just patiently wait, and then a little jump cut, and then he's able to get up to the next level. Just this little cut right there gives the offensive line enough of an opportunity to be able to secure their blocks. Gives them a great, even a better blocking angle to be able to get to the linebackers. But just that little jump cut and the patience that he showed there opened that play up.
Now Yeldon with 89 yards checks in. He's an outstanding receiver, remember. McCarron fires in zone. Touchdown, Bama. Amari Cooper.
They got him again, able to hit the zone here, right into the middle between the safeties. They couldn't get there. There's Farley sitting back in coverage. They split them. And when you split safeties like that, you've got to be able to throw the ball with a great deal of velocity. You can't hang it up in the air to give the safeties a chance to come over. He put that on a rope, and Cooper's able to come up with another touchdown.
Shelley for the extra point. Alabama this time goes 86 yards in 14 plays.
Can you just hear those SEC fans?
Atkinson will take a knee, and I want to remind everybody about the Western Conference matchups. NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm at 8 p.m. Lakers take on the Spurs, and following that it'll be the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Clippers, all Wednesday on ESPN. And Alabama putting up some NBA numbers in this game. 502 yards of offense, 264 passing, 238 running. And Amari Cooper, who caught that touchdown pass, has now bested Julio Jones' freshman numbers. He has 1,000 yards as a freshman, 58 receptions. That ties the great Julio, who's with Atlanta, at 11 touchdowns. The Falcons, of course, they'll be hosting the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL playoffs. Sunseri out of blitz. He's got Golson in his sights, and Golson got it off in time, Herbie.
Yeah. Vinny Sunseri times up his blitzes very, very well. In fact, that's really his specialty. When they put him in there at nickel, the offensive line doesn't make the adjustment because he came so late. And Golson just trying just as much as he can to buy enough time and actually put in a position there where Eifert could have made a play on the football.
Second down and 10 for Golson and the Irish. Far side, Daniels. Daniels turns it up for a first down.
This is usually where you're going to see Nick Saban coaching on the sideline as if he's down 42-7. Usually he shows his most energy and enthusiasm when his team has a lead like this. Always coaching against perfection and demanding the most from his team regardless of the score.
Golson throws it away, and Saban says, I was the only receiver in that area. The pressure was coming that time for Sunseri again as they come after him.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Brent.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, regardless of the score, you got to love the aggressive nature from Alabama. They're up 42-7. Instead of pulling back and, hey, let's just get out of Dodge here, they're still blitzing and being aggressive with Sunseri off the nickel. They're still throwing touchdown passes here. They're still competing, regardless of what the score is.
Second down and 10, and you can start to think who will be in the top 5 preseason next year, and will Alabama be number 1? Worth thinking about. Championship game is back in Pasadena next year. Golson on the move, fires to Jones. Jones slips a tackle, but he's short of the first down and out of bounds.
Let's take a look at the view from our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. Once again, Golson trying to run for his life. This time he actually breaks contain and actually gets outside of the pocket. And by doing that, that's what gave him a chance to buy enough time to eventually find Jones. You know, Bama's going to be up at number 1. You're going to have Oregon's going to have a great team next year. It's going to be fun to try to see which team has the best chance next year.
Third down and 1. Golson fires complete to Eifert. Eifert slips a tackle, and he's to the 44-yard line. I saw a fellow tonight whose team is going to be in the top 5, Herbie. Kevin Sumlin, the Texas A&M coach. He did a fabulous job this year. He's got Johnny Manziel back. Still doesn't know about those 2 offensive tackles. He's going to lose a real good defensive end. They will play Alabama at College Station in Texas. They have a lot of home games, and I expect the Aggies to be ranked very high when next season starts with the Heisman Trophy winner bringing them back. Here's Golson. Wood flared, and Bama was ready for it. That play was jumped right away, and Blue makes a stop.
Johnny Manziel is going to become quite a story in the offseason and leading into next year after the year that he had and winning that Heisman as a freshman, and just has the kind of the wow factor about him and style of play that he has.
He's got the wow factor off the field.
That's what I hear.
He reminds me of a young Joe Namath. Well, it's 42-7 Alabama. You're enjoying it a lot more. And there's the injured nose guard. And that youngster from Australia is going to play in the National Football League, too. He's a load. Golson fires middle. Daniels having a big game. 20 down to the 15. Daniels is probably the best weapon that Notre Dame has had tonight. He's had a 100-yard night receiving, and he's caught a half dozen.
And they caught him in a blitz here, and they actually picked it up just enough to be able to give him a chance to make a play on this football. When they brought the blitz, there's nobody left in the middle. You can see the arm strength and how tight a throw Everett Golson makes when he has a chance to step into a throw and make it. And that time, good job up front and giving him enough time to be able to make that play.
3 receivers. Riddick. Not going very far that time, is it?
No, and when you can't run the football, it puts everything on the passing game and everything on the pass protection. And even when they haven't sacked Everett Golson, they've done enough to him where they've made him uncomfortable more often than not. It's just tough to be able to have a consistent opportunity to move the ball when you can't run the ball at all. It's just a non-factor with only 38 yards rushing tonight.
Golson's 19 of 33 throwing for 254 and 1 interception. He'd like to strike here with 8.5 minutes left. Forced, wanted Jones to turn around, head back for the end zone, and got him. That was a little bit of a hand pattern as he told Jones to take off. And yes, there is a penalty flag down at the 12-yard line.
I don't know if they're going to say Jones pushed off there or if they're going to maybe look at that as far as the Alabama defender. He threw it right at Jones's feet.
Holding. Defense number 13. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
That's blue.
It's really, we've seen Jones do this tonight, Brent. A lot of times when he's making plays on the ball, it's where he's just improvising. And there it is right there as he went down. He's just improvising and reacting to Everett Golson running for his life. You know, instead of just kind of, sometimes receivers will look at their quarterback and hope that he eventually sees them. In his case, he's really working to try to get open to help his quarterback out.
First down and goal. Eifert is out to the right. There are 4 receivers as Riddick steps out. Riddick catches it for a Notre Dame touchdown. Well, Herbie, you wanted an onside kick, and one's coming, Patrick.
Honestly, I thought we would see Riddick in that position most of the night tonight. I thought they'd put him out there at the slot against a linebacker where he has a chance to win that battle and give his quarterback a chance. There's it's off to the left slot, a little inside move, and then it goes around a very talented linebacker in C.J. Mosley. But we've seen him more in the backfield running the football as opposed to being out there in the slot where we thought he might have a chance to do some damage.
Brenza tacks on the extra point. So Everett Golson's first touchdown pass of the night, and it goes to Theo Riddick. Have a 14-all football game right now, folks. But first half does count.
Yeah.
So here we go. Brenza's got the ball on the tee for the Irish. I find myself as the good hands team is on the field for Nick Saban. They certainly expect the onside kick here. Instead, Brenza will take it deep, and this will come out on the 25-yard line. Herbie, it's my fault. We were talking about teams we got to consider for the top 5 next year when all the preseason magazines come out that we take a look at. And I cannot overlook the Ohio State Buckeyes. We got Urban Meyer here tonight. They went undefeated this year.
Braxton Miller's back.
They could not go to a bowl game, could not play for a Big Ten championship. They could be up there next year. And I think the Irish will be in the top 10, even though they're getting drilled here tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think Ohio State undefeated with the team that they have coming back. Alabama will probably start at number 1, which they should. Back-to-back national championships. And you know, a team like Teddy Bridgewater and Louisville, with their performance that they had in their Sugar Bowl, they'll probably start up close to the top 5 as well. Tonight, the thing that has just stood out is just how dominant Alabama has been. 5 years from now, we're going to look back not just at this era of Nick Saban. When we talk about the Alabama-Notre Dame game, we're going to remember how see how he works it on the sideline? He's more intense. Look at him. When he's up 42-14, if I'm an official on his sideline, I'm taking cover, because that's when he brings it. But 238 on the ground, 264 through the air, over 500 yards of offense tonight for the Crimson Tide. Doug Nussmeier doing a great job calling plays tonight.
Yeldon is stopped. You know, the last time that somebody won 3 championships in 4 years, you have to go back to Tom Osborne and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They won the 1995 Orange Bowl, 1996 Fiesta Bowl. What a performance by Tommy Frazier in that game. 1997, though, comes with an asterisk. They won the Orange Bowl. Remember now, Michigan was declared the Associated Press champion because they too went undefeated and won the Rose Bowl. So isn't it a little bit better, even though it's controversial and it hasn't solved every problem, isn't it better when we bring these 2 teams together? Wouldn't it have been fun to see Nebraska play Michigan that year?
Yes.
Second down now. And timeout by McCarron. And he's upset with Barrett Jones.
Wow.
Boy, that is highly unusual. I thought for a moment he might have been teasing, but can't have a scene like that out there.
Just so you understand, they're upset because they're both making calls, and McCarron's trying to overrule Barrett Jones, and Barrett Jones is saying, I'm making
Before
the call.
Before the timeout signal, delay a game.
So they're
offense, a 5-yard penalty.
They both do so much at the line of scrimmage when it comes to making the checks up there. Oh boy, see, there he goes.
Oh, now he's very upset now. Understandably, the two kids you just saw are roommates, and there's something has really aggravated Saban about the official. And he's trying to get him off the field over there. He does now. 2nd down and 11. And here's the handoff to Yeldon.
Just trying to keep that intensity, keep that edge for four quarters. It's interesting to see McCarron and Barrett Jones, though. I mean, you're up comfortably. I know you're trying to make the right check at the line of scrimmage, but you don't see an offensive lineman very rarely throw his quarterback. But the other thing is the quarterback shouldn't show up his lineman by getting in his ear like that and embarrassing him.
Well, if you've got an intense coach on the sideline, it's 42-14. The players just take after it.
That's right.
He sets the tone. 3rd down and 7. Yeldon tonight with 97 yards. McCarron, and it's dropped by Jones. They couldn't hook up. Incomplete.
Let's keep an eye on the two roommates here as they go over to talk this out. Assuming they do talk it out. The big fellas usually go to their own spot on the bench. I want to see if McCarron takes the leadership role and goes over and talks to him.
He's barking.
He's still kind of giving it to him.
He's barking as he went off. Stay tuned, folks. 6:04. Neal back deep, fields it at the 30-yard line. And he's down at the 37-yard line. Barrett Jones, the center. A.J. McCarron, the quarterback. A lover's quarrel. They'll start on their own 37-yard line. Coming. Golson not going to slip it. Sacked at the 25-yard line. Tom Rinaldi, what in the world is going on? You're up 42-14 and you're pushing each other?
Well, it's maybe more public than usual, Brent, but it's not necessarily all that unusual. It doesn't get to the point of being physical, but Barrett Jones and A.J. McCarron, very, very close, a brotherly relationship. They room together with each other on the road. But talking to A.J. during bowl prep, he said that sometimes he will get into it with Barrett because he feels as though Barrett wants to sometimes change the call and knows more about the offense than he does. So sometimes it's a clash of wills, obviously spilled over to another level right now in the 4th quarter, but not necessarily that unusual given the two wills involved.
So here is Riddick out to the 30-yard line, and so this is what transpired between roommates. You can see Barrett with the call, and McCarron calling timeout. You're not supposed to change it. I didn't want to change. What are you doing? Get out of here.
You can tell it clearly had everything to do with who was going to make the right call, and he was trying to overrule Barrett. Barrett's trying to overrule him, and you're up 42-14.
3rd and 17 now. He's converted a 3rd and 16, but not a 3rd and 17. 4th down with 4.5 minutes to go. And Coach Kelly's going to send the punting team out.
You showed the highlights there of Tom Osborne in Nebraska, and once Alabama wins this, it's 3 of 4, and you start to try to compare that to other dynasties that we've had in college football. In my lifetime, because I still think we're just in the middle of it. I don't think this is the end of a run for Alabama. I think we're in the middle of it. I really believe that this is, in my lifetime, the best dynasty that I've ever seen in college football.
All right. Good. That's it. Sorry about that, my good friend.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad McCarron came down to him.
You know what A.J. said when he turned away? Don't do it again.
Yeah, right. He's a battle. Things happen.
What a performance by this offensive line tonight. Quanjo, Warmack, Barrett, Jones, Steen, and DJ Fluker. What a masterful job that they have done here tonight. Averaging well over 300 pounds in that offensive line. We have Lacey with 140 yards, Yeldon with 97 yards. And here comes Yeldon. He's got 100 now. So 2 backs with 100 yards. And how about the quarterback? He's only 20 of 28, Herbie. Look at those numbers the last 2 years.
That's the way you get it done. Last year, people had questions of whether or not he could get it done in the championship. He clearly delivered tonight an even better performance. Not just the numbers, but just engineering this offense, the balanced attack. He and Doug Nussmeier really on the same page with how they wanted to try to go after this Notre Dame defense. Great execution all night. Second time, by the way, at a championship game that Bama's had 2 backs go over 100 yards. They did the same thing to Texas back in the 09 title game.
And one of them, Lacey, is the offensive MVP tonight. McCarron was last year against LSU. But Lacey with 140 yards tonight and 1 touchdown. And there is their performance here tonight, the 200-yarders. And Eddie Lacey is the offensive MVP as Alabama. The starters are being taken out.
Whole offensive line. There's Barrett Jones off the field for the last time as a play for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Blake Sims comes in at the quarterback, and Kenyon Drake, whom I mentioned. And there's another hug between quarterback and center. And this is Kenyon Drake. And the Irish better wrap this young man up. Teo makes the stop here. Buddies again. Second down and 5. Well, it all begins with one man when you talk about this dynasty. And that is Nick Saban right there. He won a BCS championship while he was head coach at LSU. Did not have a good experience with the Miami Dolphins here for a couple of years. Went back to Alabama, and this will be his 3rd BCS championship in 4 years. And who knows how many more they're going to be able to win with this powerhouse. These are the teams to win 3 national titles in 4 years. The great Frank Leahy coming out of the war with Notre Dame. Tom Osborne in the 90s we've talked about. And now Nick Saban. And yes, now you can start to mention Bear Bryant and Nick Saban in the same sentence. That's how effective Saban has been since going to Alabama. One of the great recruiters and one of the great evaluators of talent that I've been around. This is a guy who can go watch a high school football game and come back with somebody who wasn't even there to look at, but he'll see him during a game. They had to change the recruiting rules because of Nick Saban and all the activity he had in the spring. And there's the Bear. He's got 6.
How many years did it take him to get to 6? 25, 20?
In the 20s.
20. Nick Saban's gotten 4 total in 8 college coaching years, and 3 of the last 4 in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, you know, Herbie, I find myself more impressed with what Alabama accomplished tonight than what Notre Dame didn't do, to be perfectly honest. I really think this is an Alabama story. I think this is remarkable, the way they have played, and you and I have covered all 3 of these championships. And last year, I really thought it would be difficult, losing 5 guys in the first 35 picks to the NFL, and it wasn't.
No.
They picked right up where they left off with a new batch of players.
And what I think is exciting if you're an Alabama fan is they're in the middle of this dynasty. It's not, we're not closing the book. This team, you can make an argument, even if Eddie Lacy were to leave and some of the others, there's enough of a young nucleus. A.J. McCarron's coming back. C.J. Mosley's already announced he's coming back. This is going to be another team next year that Nick Saban's going to have that's going to compete for another national championship.
Now, you know what he doesn't like? Does not like the Gatorade bath. He knows he's got to get up to get the crystal football. In fact, we saw him put a jacket on few years ago in Pasadena, up the soaked Alabama golf shirt.
Barrett Jones is up to something.
Oh, there's no question.
He
might drop it on the quarterback shirt.
Yeah. Last year, I think Nick Saban took it off the forehead when the water, the Gatorade shower got a little physical for him.
Final minute coming down, and
there's Barrett. He's hiding.
pretty hard for Barrett Jones to hide.
Everybody's trying to hide him.
Saban knows he's coming.
Oh, you got DJ Fluker in the front. That'll hide Barrett.
Yeah, that's the total eclipse.
Here we go.
Yo, baby.
Look at his face.
Oh, nice. Thanks a lot, guys. There they are. The process continues. And Saban with his third national championship at Alabama in 4 years.
He's all kidding aside. He's still trying to coach that last play.
There's no question. That's it. Stay tuned for the fourth BCS postgame show immediately following tonight's game. Let's check in now with Tom Rinaldi with the coach.
Brent, thank you very much.